It seems like it's still coming, so we're going to keep rinsing. I'd be getting housemaid's knees at this work, but I think you'll see that under a normal situation, slurry oil is no problem for JPX. Yeah. I think that's an excellent demonstration of what we're talking about. We certainly encourage you to do it yourself. Give it a try. Get the materials, try it on your own crude or FCC slurry or whatever else you're trying to clean, decontaminate. I think you'll be mightily impressed with JPX's performance. This little demo is going to show how JPX, how effective it is in removing oil from solids. This might be the case when you have sludges and scale or coke fines lying in the bottom of vessels or separators or on column internals. This would show how the material allows the oil to be lifted off of the solids and effectively emulsified and taken away from the solids. What we have here is two graduated cylinders, and we put around 10 cc's of the same old crude oil we used in the previous tests. We have some sand here, and we're going to put this sand in the cylinder and mix it up with the oil. Then we're going to add the Z formulation to the one on the right and the JPX formulation to the one on the left, and then shake them up and see what happens. And mixing this sand and the oil together with this plastic tube, make sure we get it all nicely mixed and saturated. We're going to be mixing it up in the second graduated flask. Bring out a little of this sticky sand, all coated and covered in oil, and we're ready to then add JPX to one and the Z to the other. See what we get. Okay, now we're just going to put in 100 cc's of water here, and we're going to add the cleaning materials. We're going to add 5 cc's of JPX to the bottle, graduated flask, and we'll do the same for the design flask. Now we're going to cork these graduated flasks up and give them a good shake. See what happens. We're going to start shaking these up and give it a very thorough shake. See what we can get in the way of separability here. That's the Z. Shake up the JPX. See what we get. We'll let those sit, and we'll come back and take a look at them in about 10 minutes. And here we have the two graduated cylinders. About 20 minutes after we let them start settling, and probably the only difference you can notice on camera is that the JPX on the left-hand side is a little bit darker, appearing that there's more oil being floated up than the Z product on the right-hand side. So we'll come back and we'll take a look-see. Alright, now we've returned after letting these two samples sit for 2 hours to settle, and we see some differences in terms of the amount of oil. May be difficult to pick up in the video camera, but on the JPX it looks like there's about 5 milliliters of oil sitting on top. Again, the small dark band. You go down below and one can see some sand showing up down below there. On the product Z, we see some foam, a much smaller amount of oil that's separated on the top. Going down at the bottom, you see some sand and oil. So now what we're going to do is try to demonstrate how much oil is on the top of these by tilting a little bit, so maybe we get a better visualization. Do is tilt it and show how much oil is try to get a better visualization of the oil on top of the JPX versus the oil on the Z here. Again, you can see that there's not very much that shows up there. It's kind of a light froth and a coffee looking color that is on the Z versus the JPX, which again, tilt it again for you, show you how much oil is there. So I think that's pretty significant. And if you could see the bands, you'd notice that as I said, there's 5 milliliters there, and there's probably 1 milliliter over here on the Z product. So to summarize the results, JPX versus product Z, ability to remove oil, JPX wins out. Rinsability, separability, cost effectiveness, JPX tops. Conclusion, JPX is much more effective removing oil, rinsing off easier, better separability, and importantly, cost considerably less than Z. The choice is clear, JPX. Save more at your next shutdown by using JPX.
Area in Coker that we're going to be cleaning with a foamer using JPX. You can look at throughout the area and see a number of oily spots. We're going to cover this entire area with foam. Here you see the foamer applying the JPX. We see the vertical cling of the foam on surfaces where it is difficult to get a cleaner to stay. We started with about 3 gallons of concentrated JPX when we started cleaning this area. Here you see the foamer, which takes air and water into the foamer body, inducting the concentrated JPX and putting the combination